Correction work. Correction work is an essential step that helps the overall complexion look smoother and more even under the makeup. The high-definition camera can pick up on and magnify discolorations such as blemishes and hyperpigmentation, and these issues can become distracting to the viewer if they are not properly concealed. Correction work is important for dealing with discolorations in the eye area, as you want them to look as forwardly bright and luminous as possible in HD TV. Getting the canvas around them looking smooth and even is one of the secrets of the foundation base application looking more organic to the skin, so that the overall complexion ultimately looks clean on screen to the viewing eye. Blemishes and discolorations are unwanted visual colors that can be red or blue or combinations of both that produce a purplish-looking feedback in camera. They can also be hyperpigmentations of brown or gray, which also need a bit of correction work. For light to medium skin tones, I like to use yellow highlight, soft orange, or extra highlight colors for correcting discolorations. Yellow visually blends out redness in skin, and orange visually blends out dark bluish or brown discolorations. For naturalizing some other problem areas on the face, I use extra highlight in a pat and seal technique. These colors are highly saturated in pigment, so they deliver the results you need, and a little bit goes a long way. I like to work the product on the palette first with a spatula to warm it up, as that will help shear it down further into a wash of color for a smoother application. Apply a thin film with the camouflage oval brush, using a light patting motion under and around the eye area very sparingly or wherever there is a need. You can always add another thin layer if you need more opacity or coverage, but this method gives you greater control and more natural-looking results using thin, film-like layers. Take a sponge wedge that has been lightly sprayed with water to dampen it, and then very lightly tap the area with the damp sponge to set the product into the skin. Do not wipe with the sponge or you risk removing it completely. Or if you prefer, you can also very lightly tap a thin layer of translucent powder over the concealed area with a flat oval brush to seal it. Then lightly tap over that with a damp sponge. For medium to darker skin tones, use the High Definition Glamour Cream Super Palette in neutral. Pick out the prominent colors visible in the normal color of the skin just outside of the discoloration or hyperpigmentation. Work the product on the palette the same way as previously discussed. Using a light tapping motion with the Ultra Silk Concealer Brush number 78108, I dapple these colors randomly over the area to break up the discoloration so that it appears normalized into the surrounding skin area. Then take a sponge wedge that has been sprayed with water to dampen it, and then very lightly blot the area to set the product into the skin. This helps harmonize the colors into the skin's natural pigmentation. Do not wipe with the sponge or you risk removing it completely. You can also very lightly tap a thin layer of translucent powder over the concealed area with the brush if you wish to seal it further. Then lightly tap over that again with a damp sponge.